Hello, I'm Pete from UK Survival. Today I'm going to bring you 3 tins I make and sell on eBay. I'm going to give you a demonstration and show you what's inside each of these tins. There's 3 different sizes of tins and various different, and they all have the same equipment inside them, but the quantities and size varies depending on the size of the tin. So, first one, the main big tin. So we've got on here, so at the very start of it is a little aluminium tin. You can use as a tinder box, and you can also use this as making charcoal off at a later date. It comes kind of outside with a ranger band on the outside to hold it thick, because this one is packed. And inside it, you can see there's a whole load of different things in there. So I'm going to change the camera angle now for the big tin, so you can get a close up. So inside the tin itself, we've got the ranger band on the outside. Then we've got 2 rolls of birch bark. We've got 5 light anywhere matches, which I'll get the other 2 out shortly. I mean, they will light on any coarse surface, hardened sort of stuff. We've got 3 tubes of cotton wool. Each tube has around about 1/5 of a cotton wool ball, something inside it, and heat sealed on the ends. We've got a ferricium rod, a little one that fits inside the container. We've got a spool of jute twine, 50 centimetres of fire cord, but it's also got brass wire embedded inside that as well for snaring or any other devices. You've got a length of fat wood, which is high resin content wood from the heart of pines, and we've got some char cloth in the very bottom of the tin, and it all sits inside a nice little tin which is just there. So this is the contents of the large tin. Okay, so what am I going to do now? I'm going to go through a quick demonstration of each of the items inside of the tin itself. So in the main one, I'm going to use this ferro rod throughout the entire thing. Depending on which tin you have all the same equipment and sort of roughly always the same items inside it, except the main one, which has the ferro rod. To use these, I recommend you use the scrapey part first. You take off the black layer, because the black layer will stop you from actually scraping it first. I tend to use the bottom bit. So if you see you got a really long bit and you got a thinner bit, I use the bottom one here. Yeah, 2 couple of strikes, and you can see there we've got some nice sparks coming off it. So that's what we're going to use for all these little challenges, except when we use the match. The first one we're going to use is just to show you the char cloth. So actually, let's work it together. So I've got the char cloth, and I'm also going to get a little bit of the jute twine, in which you would get inside there as well. So you take out a length of jute twine, and what you want to do with your jute twine is you want to try to get it so it's like a bird's nest. So ruffling it up. So ruffling it up, trying to separate all the fibres. Okay, so I've now ruffled up a little bit of my jute twine, so you could use a whole lot or a little bit on there. This will take a spark on its own, but to really assist it, you can also use a little bit of your char cloth to help it along the way. So all we've got to physically do for that, we've got a char cloth, windy out here, we've got a ferro rod, so I like that. Yeah, so that's all sparking away. I can then place that onto there itself, give it a little bit of a blow. Here we go. I now have flame. Yeah, okay, so that's just using the jute twine on there, so I could, if there's a little bit left, yeah, keep it burning a little bit more. So you've got yourself a very, very quick combustible sort of resource. So the next thing we're going to look at inside our kit is a little bit of the fat wood. So the fat wood itself, you use the back of your blade and try and take some, probably not this one because this is very, yeah, if I scrape some of the fat wood off, you're going to get some dust. Play a few little shavings as well. I've got myself a nice little pile of fat wood now. And all I've got to do then, like with the other things, I can take my ferro rod, give it a couple of strikes. There we go. I've got my fat wood on the go straight away. So if I wanted to keep it longer, I can take my Ranger band. Okay, the next thing we're going to look at inside our kit is our cotton wool. So all we're going to do is just cut it open and then squeeze the tube, and you can pull out your piece of cotton wool. Once I've got that, I'm going to fluff up the cotton wool. Yes, everything inside this tin is designed for very, very small sort of fires, so you might want to use multiple resources inside the tin just to get a good fire. One thing on its own wouldn't do everything, but I've just shown you different methods how to use it. So I've got my cotton wool, I've got my ferro rod, oh, wrong way around. Yeah, so that's on fire. So again, if I want to get my Ranger band to make it last longer, or putting any other resources on top of it, I can now put my birch bark on there. So if I wanted to, if it's still burning, I could get a little bit of the birch bark. Did I get it on time? No. Okay, so that's just allowed, just to show you a little bit of the cotton wool. So again, if you needed to, you'd put something else with that just to give it a bit more ignition sort of coming on. And the last thing we have inside our tins, we have some birch bark. So depending on the size of the tin you get, to what sort of size birch bark you have. So we'll take a few little bits off, just to, if it's dried out, just rip them off a little bit. Take your knife, give it some scrapes as well. I'm going to try and get some dust off onto the birch bark, just the same as using the fat wood. The knife I'm using today is just a normal, very small, cheap knife from a pound shop. So you don't have to have the best kit out there to do the jobs. So I've got some shavings now. Oh, I did have some shavings, so I just lost them. And I've got my little bits and pieces ready to go. Take my ferro rod. There we go. And I've got a nice fire on the go there, where I can just keep putting my birch bark on top of that. Will keep me going for some time. Got my Ranger band I can place on there as well, just keep that going even longer, which is now given enough time now to actually build a nice decent fire off this stuff I've got burning here. So as you can see, a little bit of birch bark, that one Ranger band, is burning for a very, very long time. So just those two items alone will give you a good enough fire to actually keep it going, but you've got all the other stuff inside the kit to help you along on the way as well. That's going to burn for some time though. Right, the last bit of kit you have inside of your equipment is 50 centimeters of paracord, which is also fire cord as well. So it's 550 pound braking strain. It's got a reflective sheath on the outside, so it glows in the dark. So when light hit it in the dark, it reflects. Inside you've got 7 plies. So you've got 7 strands of internal core, so I can't get it out at the moment. 7 strands of internal core. There we go. And then it's also got a couple of other nice nifty things inside there as well. So we've got a layer of wire. Yeah, so this little bit of green thing here, that's actually cable, so wire, so you can pull that all the way out. So let's just take everything out of here for now, so you've got all the cord. So I've actually, oh, let's not melt that. So I've actually got some wire. So with the wire you can do all sorts of stuff with that. You can tie things on, make torches. You can even make very, very simple snares. It's quite strong and robust. Fishing line, all sorts of stuff with the wire inside of the cord. Then you've got 7 strands of normal cord, in which you could do all sorts of devices with. You can use it for lashing. You still got your reflective stuff on the outside when you take it off for safety or marking, signal markers. Coming down as well. Yeah, you can see it's all sticky. That's because it's been waxed. This bit here, which I'm now taking out now, is waxed jute twine. So this is the same stuff we used at the start for the bird's nest, but this one's actually now waxed, so it makes it more waterproof. We've also got a thinner bit as well, just to help it by. So we've got 7 strands. 1, 2, 3. 4, 5, 6, and then our 7th little strand inside there, holding it all together. Then you've got a wire, that, and our waxed cord, which again, yeah, you mix it all up, rough it all up a little bit, so you get it over. I'll move all this out of the way now. So you take your wax cord, you rough it up just as you would do your normal cord. Here we go. So ruffle it all up, yeah, a little bit. Now the waxed jute twine is going to burn, making a nice little fire, and that's inside a little bit of paracord which you can tie all over the place. 50 centimeters of that, you can make all sorts out of it, tie it around, and that's going to last a lot longer than when we used just a dry cord only, where it flashed out straight away on us. It's still burning slightly now. I've got a little bit of wind coming over. So you get some of that inside there as well. And the last thing you get inside your kit, depending on which one you have, is the match itself. So these are, they hold magnesium and red phosphorus actually inside the head. Usually on a matchbox you only have one item inside that, but this allows me, if you can see on the side of me, there's on the concrete, and I'm going to try and get it up to you because the wind is actually quite strong where I am. Yeah. So you get 2 of those as well, but the wind is blowing them out where I am. So you'd shield that and nurse it. Okay, so that is the contents of the 3 tins, the large, the medium and the micro. I hope you enjoyed that video and found it interesting. If not, just get yourself out there and have it. But if you want to check these out, look at the link down below on my channel, and it will take you to the eBay shop where you can actually buy these. Or if you're actually from eBay, check out the other things which I do inside the channel for bushcraft sort of videos. Just remember, it's better to be one with the wilderness than to fight and struggle. Until next video, I'll see you then.